Homage to the holy perfection of wisdom. Thus I have heard. At one time the Lord was staying on Rajagrika on Vulture's Peak mountain, together with a great host of monks and a great host of bodhisattvas. At that time the Lord was composed in the concentration of the course of dharmas called profound illumination. At that time also the noble Lord Avalokitesvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasatva, was engaged in the practice of profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then, through the inspiration of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the noble Lord Avalokitesvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, how should any child of a good family trained, who wishes to engage in the practice of profound perfection of wisdom? And the noble Lord Avalokitesvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, spoke to the Venerable Shariputra as follows: Shariputra, any son or daughter of a good family who wishes to engage in the practice of profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it thus. He or she beholds but five aggregates, and that in their own being they are empty. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Emptiness does not differ from form, and form does not differ from emptiness. Likewise, feelings, recognitions, compositional factors and consciousness are empty. So, Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. Lacking differentiating marks, they are not produced nor stopped, not defiled and not immaculate, not deficient and not complete. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no recognition, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no tangible, no mental object, no element, and so on, up to no mind element and no mental consciousness element, no ignorance and no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to no aging and death and no extinction of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, origin, sensational part, no wisdom, knowledge, no attainment, and no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas abide relying on the perfection of wisdom, without obscuration of thought and sorrow unafraid. Transcending perverted views, they attain the end nirvana. All Buddhas existing at 3 times, relying on the perfection of wisdom, fully awaken to the highest perfect enlightenment. Therefore, one should know that the mantra of perfection of wisdom is a mantra of great knowledge, the highest mantra, the unequalled mantra, the mantra that allays all suffering. The truth is there is nothing wrong. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisoha. In this way, Shariputra should Bodhisattva Mahasattva train the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Lord rose from that concentration and commended the noble Lord Avalokitesvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, saying, well said, O son of a good family. So it is, O son of a good family, so it is. Just as he was taught, should the profound perfection of wisdom be practised, and all the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Lord had uttered this, the Venerable Shariputra, the noble Lord Avalokitesvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, and the whole world, all those present, including Devas, human beings, Asuras and Gandharvas, were delighted and applauded the Lord's speech. This completes the Sutra of the Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom. Mandala offering, page 10. Sashi Porgi Jung Shing Meto Tramri Rabrinji Nide Gyan Sum Rang Sa Drowa Jing Yilo Jet Sun Lama Dam Pa Kenam Ki Kun Kala Kien Se Ju Zindri Jita Sampe Duje Zinma Laza Gechoki Chapa Wabdu So Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami
Sonje
Joda Zoye Jonala
Sonje Pata Dana Jasanja
Dage Jenye
Sonje Lola Pecha Sanje Roba Sonje
Joda Zoye Jonala
Sonje Pata Dana Jasanja Dage Geshe Lobsang Lola Pecha Sanje Roba Sonje
Joda Zoye Jonala
Sonje Pata Dana Jasanja Dage Geshe
Lola Peche Sanje Roba Ajo.
Nē tā ngā tsū tōmbō gāng jī tērā wā tēn sā tā gāng sēngi tērā ngā tsū tē nē lāma tsū ngā pēwa nē dēn mē kārē shī sū yōn tsē nā nē gāng sēngi tē nē gēwē gā mī pā jī lē yō nē yōn tā mī pā tē nē yō nē yōn tā nē mī nā shū ngā tā nā jī lā nē gāng sē gā yō rē sā.
So before we begin the short meditations, according to the great Master Lama Tsongkhapas, the meditations. So meditation is a practice, to place or to direct our mind on a virtuous object, and then maintaining the observations and the image of that objects.
아니 대 가르쳐들이 세계나 맞지 아니 통마 매번에 로냐 아니 생지 온도 판로네 아니 생의 온도 제대로 마도 생대 로냐가 온도 지다고 말했어.
So why we meditate? So it really is to train and bring our mind under our control. So if we think about the what really who controls us and our actions and our experience in the future, then we find that since beginningless time, it's our mind really overruled. The mind overruled us. And then the kind of mind that overrule us. And then if you look in that, then it is that mind is really led by the force of some sort of like a mental obscuration, such as mental afflictions.
Wana sente si Jason Ruyersana, sente Niemuto, and Dawala Supiki Jason None, Nazola Niepato, Shan Tonche, that the name de Goyores. So as said before, so the mind which overruled us, so is really is under the control, is under the domain, the force of some sort of like a mental afflictions, and so as a result of that, then really we can understand, we can recognize that really the source of all the faulty actions that we create and the negativities that we create, so is really is that mind loss. Ta gonjana ni karche kursene gonte sende runi chungud tsinda chene ani giwe mi pala ani chita dende runya ga chita dende chita ani sende u tela ani mini deto wa chi shego yores.
So therefore we have to understand that the purpose of the meditation, so the purpose of the meditation is to now to control, to fully bring our mind into our control, rather than it's been the control, or it's been dominated by such like some sort of like a mental afflictions, or some sort of deluded state of mind. And so therefore through meditation practice, so we discipline, we train, and through this we fully bring the mind under our control, and then we will be able to, after our mind is brought under control, then we will be able to then really utilize fully utilize our mind to whatever the virtues, or the whatever the virtues that we want to engage in. So we can utilize that mind to do that. As we wish, whatever virtue we wish to create.
Zata, Tendi Sunzanita, Tela Tuma ni Karchikos, and Tuma Kumal Karl mi payina, give me pa Karl mi payina, mi patik moda, ani Korala supa, Yapo Nyambache. Tene Nyans I did it, Tendi mi pate, ni Janto, ta mi pa jelchin, Minu, Shavu, Nyambigani. Be sessued to Pemba trouble in Helton. On it, the knees on Helton Sade, Soso Chitang Nyambi, Guanchi Mipa to Guanch Mora, Sopa, Teleni, Loche Mepaji, and it tremba to Shejila Sopica, dancing Bigone, and ta Guancha.
So, and with the meditation practice, then we have to we have to recognize, we have to know the objects, what object we are going to meditate on, or whatever the subject matter that we are going to meditate on, and then also we also have to know how to meditate, what sort of tools that we should be using in our meditation practice. So so therefore after gathering all these the informations about the meditation practice in terms of the object of the meditation, how to meditate, and what we do when we are what we do when we do the meditation is to really to not only we focus and maintain the focus of our mind on the object, but also we can also utilize the mind to develop the understanding and develop the concentrations relating to that particular the particular objects. So therefore, it's always with the meditation. When we start with the meditations, then we should always clear about all this, the object of meditation, and then we should have a motivations, generate the motivation that that we would keep the mind, mental focus on this object, and we will not lose the focus to any other objects.
Tate ni tandashi gong kote ni yerumuchiga ni lorchimun ni su yon de sirwa tinza tate no jichina matsukama kashi gong nana chigo sirwa.
So this is just a brief the summary of the meditation. Why we meditate, why we meditate, and how we meditate. So in the meditation, so we have to use the tool of like a mindfulness and the mental alertness, and so all this you will find in the Tsongkhapa's great Tsongkhapa's text called the expositions, or the great exposition of the stages of the path. So if you can if you refer to that, you can find more about this. So just keeping this in mind now, let's begin this short meditation practice. Okay, thank you.
당어저디 네 자세치 모셔와 락신주 치모네 가르수 있잖아. 네 둥안 돈데 세해 좀 둥안이랑 냠바 주스. 대완데 주 뜨미비 롱기 대와 자다 점스. 아니 드니시요레스.
The great, Indian master Shantideva says in his text, a bodhisattva's way of life, due to ignorance and delusions. So even though you wish to avoid sufferings, you only you go only after the sufferings. And even though you wish for happiness, but you destroy the happiness as if it were your enemy.
대 가르치고 있으나니 당가서 다세체노 아니 둥아테 수수수기 둥아테 너한 대거요. 때 이나야 아니 둥아그죠 네 무게절라 수바 저대고요. 그래서
so what these quotations remind to us is the contradictions in between what we wish for and what we do, the kind of actions that we do in our life. So the action that what we wish is we of course we do not wish to be we wish to avoid sufferings, as said before. But however, the kind of action that we normally create the mostly these are actions falls into one of those 10 what we call as 10 non-virtuous actions, and these 10 non-virtuous actions in fact are the main causes of sufferings that we trying to avoid or we do not want. Ross.
네, 가서 내지때 대원 되고요. 이렇게 이나요. 대외 제때 드럼시. 네, 다 드럼시네. 다 롱기 대와때 네 뭐게절라 소피. 다 지체네. 네, 다 아니 대와때 대매와 제시하고요. 그래서
so and on the other hand, what we always seek is or wish for is happiness. And have you ever we lack the knowledge, true knowledge of finding the happiness, and so therefore so because of such lack of such knowledge of finding happiness, that then the what we will be doing, what the kind of actions that we are creating are unwholesome and non-virtuous. So therefore, this what as it said before, see our action contradict to to what we wish for, and as if that the creating us creating such action is like destroying or this what we seek in our life, which is happiness.
다 던지고 다 시제노치 등어도 trawan데 대화 니 토반데 시비가 니 대화텔라 니 시도 내가 맞좀 무친디 대화다 아니 다 시와 심마세로 다 사도미 고비 대화지고 요레스 아니 땡 대화스는 타와다 아니 도지 준비 대화지고 요레스
and then the if the happiness is something that that we seek, which we seek. And then, if we ask, what is it? Then it is a happiness which is, when we think about it, then either the happiness which we find, in the form of, this, through finding this human life, having found the human life, we find happiness, and or there's also a bit of a higher form of happiness, like if we take rebirth in a higher realms, such higher existence, like the godly existence, then there is a happiness of that of the godly realms. So these are anyway this happiness of a human realms or in the godly realms. So they both are really they both are, in fact, it's a temporary or a short-term happiness, and but the lasting happiness or the more like the permanent state of happiness is the state of the state of liberation, achieving the liberation from this suffering world or the cyclic existence. So which we can call that the state of happiness of liberation as the more like an ultimate form of happiness.
That 다 내가 그 대화텔라 네 가서 세제 소미 하고 되고 요래 네 타투 그 대화텔라 네 가서 유네 네 아니 다지 다외 공부세나 아니 다와셀레나다 아니 수제지 공부세나 아니 대지제베 다 드니존 타녀라 뭔거지 요래서와 네 타녀 신나 마시나야 아니 내저 그 대화때 다가로래 돼요. 그래서 때도 대화도 해야 돼.
So we just talk about the happiness on the level like a temporary happiness, and which the kind of which are more obvious to us, like in a which we find in the immediate time frame, which we experience in this current life. So these are the temporary happiness, and then when we talk about the more like the long term or the future happiness, then we talk about the future happiness in terms of in the next rebirth. When we come back in the next life, then again we want a happiness. So that kind of the kind of happiness is, even though we can use so many different words, different terms to explain those happiness, like of the happiness of the future life, future human rebirth, or in a godly rebirth, or in the more in an ultimate sense than the state of liberations, which is a everlasting happiness. So whether we familiar ourselves with all these ideas of this long-term happiness or not, but deep down, we all seek that, seek the happiness, and we also seek the happiness that is, everlasting, that is enduring, not a short term. So therefore, deep down we all have a desire to find that everlasting state of happiness or the liberations.
아니 근데 유네 준비 타냐 몽보지 마시나요? 아니 고치긴 대화 대적 대화때 아니 때도 대화인 바니 간데서 하고 온데잖아. 아니 고절 지와지 티네니 근데 마신이 고절들 저와지 마티네. 아니 지도 대화인데 세긴자 근데 그래서 그랬어. 네 대화때 아니 가세진데 근데 디세 가세진데 근데 로치인데 근데 인데 근데 근데 계절 대화이나 아니 강가로 개모셔고 그래서 디 진세 가르치 개모셔야 디 가르치고 그러잖아 다디 괜찮아 저거는 뭐도 대화라 아니 제체다 아니 디세스네 요 말이 손에 아니 드리 다 개모셔야 디 그때 시작고요 그래서 대인자 아니 고주세 비고라 대화대 아니 다도 그 대화지도 때도 그 대화지 아니 내가 해봐대 다 들릴 때나 때나 하고 그래서
So we find that even those people who have who are not familiar with all this the spiritual terms that we find to explain the ultimate happiness, whether we talk about the ultimate happiness in terms of the state of nirvana or the liberation or state of complete enlightenment. So regardless of all this, if you ask even someone who have no such idea of this the liberation or the enlightenment, but if we ask that whether they wish do they wish happiness, then of course they all will say that nobody will say that that I don't want happiness. And then again, if you further ask how long do you want that happiness? Is it enough just for a day, just for a month? And is that enough? If you ask the time frame, then Geshe said even people might laugh and might think this is a very silly questions. Because deep down, it's very obvious. It is very kind of very clear. They think it's very clear that, of course, we all want it, the everlasting happiness. So therefore, there is inwardly, or there's an innately, everyone is seeking that everlasting state of happiness.
Wana ani ta tendiga ani dewate dripigun thaje ani guzosli yorilana ani ta atangel ngazo she te tagare deores ani tawaje mkhomba je to tane ani tawaje da ani jowacha ani tachen jowacha chungdengi taje jowacha chungdengi guzotela ani tendiga dewate dripigun thaje chaso chude yores.
So now if we move into the topic of now the conditions, what are the favorable conditions to that we should have to reach to that everlasting state of happiness, and then to answer to that, then we find in this subject, this teaching that which we are currently studying, which is on the human life, human are rare, and the human life of leisure and endowments. So in this subject, so we find out that anyone who has found that life, which we can call as a life of leisure and endowments, that is which is constituted of 18 qualities, like 18 attributes. So which human life which possess all those 18 qualities, then that we call as we name that as a precious human rebirth. So therefore, it is saying that if whoever found such a life, precious human rebirth, then they have all the favorable conditions or the factors which are which we need, or which we need to to achieve that the lasting happiness.
Wana tache to ne tani gache to try ngachu tendi ga ani khanes ni tani dewa senata zubi suji ji kompute drata gre se ani nipa khandes yores ngachi khandes drata gre se waina tela ni shin do somba da ni nipo do dira so pa se ne ngaji gachu try wa o tatni shin do somba nipo te ani diji go ne 네 맞춰서 보다 더 채워요래. 대사 저 니그래 해야지. 어떤디 어디 상처들래 돼요. 그래서 니게라.
And then in the last week teachings, so we learned about the what we call there's a 5 forces or the 5 factors, which if we by employing those 5 factors, then the whatever the virtues or the actions that we create, like a wholesome action that we create, then they become very very powerful, very strong, and so these topics on this the 5 forces or the 5 factors. Which really also shows us shows us the potential, rather the potential or the capacities of this human life, in terms of achieving the ultimate goal, ultimate spiritual goal of liberation and so on.
대오다 시인고네 시디살라 간스 셰워스나 은다 맞oti 주비 수지지 컴퓨터 발라 아니 세노 뭐지 쏘고 제와 뭐 픽 세노 뭐 쏘고 제와 픽 그거 제와때 아니 수지 수지에도 수지 생각을 들 제와 픽 그거 대니 트사 말이서나 아니 될 시거예요 말이서 아니 시동 수지에도 수지 생각을 제와 보나 아니 팬도 세노 쏘고 요르데 이나요 델을 로파 소식 도지 로베스로다 또 소식 라마텔 제와 부여나 아니 델에 수지 수지가 내 제와 부여 내죠 아니 델 제와 부여 아니 로그레스네 아니 드니 순르스로 땡아직 땡디가 들어도 왔어
And so the text this shows here how this the human as a human being who has who possess this all the 18 qualities or the 8 leisure and 10 endowments, then how it shows that how we are capable of creating a very very great and a very like a powerful like a virtuous actions. So such as because we can apply these 5 forces, 5 forces such as this. The first force, the force of the field. It's called the field. So here the field, talking about the field of the merit, and so to the merit, creating the merit, because the merit serve as the main one of the cause, one of the main force for us to find to find good rebirth, to find liberation and so on in the futures, and so therefore talking about this field of merit, and here we're talking about the of all the object or the field of the merit, then the using the one's own in the spiritual path, then the one's own like gurus or the spiritual teachers, so become a very important field of merit for oneself, in the sense that whatever practice, virtues that you create, such as making offerings and doing or any such virtues or merit that you accumulate, which is if it is directed towards one's guru, then we find in this text that that by the virtue of that you are the field of merit, that then it becomes very your whatever virtue or the merit that you accumulate then becomes a very great and very very powerful then doing the same merit in relating to any other object, like even other other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and so on. So it's saying here, and then this is to just to remind to us, just to show to us that this is the case, and then we have to understand that yes, as a human beings, so we have that opportunity to create the merit, so such a great merit.
제자는 다 니까서 로페스 다 라마 시케제 셰존데 대간다 올라가요 말이스러와 뭐가는 셰피 다 수절로 오가 제셰 명원웅이 셔와 던디글 라마들 송고요레스.
So if we to be more specific about this, the meaning of this, the guru as the most important field of merit, and then we really have to understand this really from the perspective of the Buddhist like a tantric path, and so in that path, in tantric path, then from whom, so where you have to receive the initiations and the transmission of the blessings and so on, so from whom you receive that, so they becomes a very important, becomes your gurus, your spiritual teachers, and so and that becomes that a very important cause for the the development of one's the spiritual path, spiritual realizations.
제가 아니 러러가 시에 가서 라마도 아니 호돈지 되고요. 그래서 아니 제가 내 뭐 가르치 되고요. 가인스 호돈지 와도 가르치는 진짜 가르치나 아니 구사 쪽이 러런 준비 가르치는 거. 아니 러러 가서 신이 좀 댄스 제고 있어요. 대니 호돈지 거네니 제바트 수용 기파테 호돈지 거네 순고요레스네. 러러 거런 호돈지 돼. 자 대신에 대해서 대원 호돈지 거네 순고요레스네. 안더니 순고도 있어. 대인사한테 가서 라마트서 아니 호돈지 되대 그래서.
So this text that which we are studying is belong usually generally it belong to the not the tantric teaching, but belong to the sutric teachings. So it's a call is the in Tibetan is a LamRim teaching, which is the exposition of the stages of the path. This is the teachings. And this LamRim, or the stages of or the exposition of the stages of the path, which the also include that this the path also include the path of Tantra as well, and so the even His Holiness Dalai Lama's his commentary on the middling exposition of the stages of the path, the text, where he explained that is how the tantric path is also included in this the LamRim teachings, these stages of the path, And so therefore, so it is for this, so that is why, we do, when we're studying these LamRim teachings, so we do find a lot of the teachings, the explanation of this LamRim teaching in which has a reference to the tantric path as well.
Shito Shing Da Sidizala, Shito Gawa Karadova in Amato Galona than Jason Roko Reserva. Inaya Shing Da Sidizala Mazoti, Samzo Ne Pashu Galona Jira Menayo, Pashu Wate, and Sanjeda, and it Nishan Jusambaredena, Sukalon Mepigone, Tawatona, Toje Chevatona, and it Nikalon Mepigone, and Chewa Pinaya, and a co, and 타외가 jellas upon royo 신가 도치 신가 그런 대니 로치문 순조 이래서 저러지
the so in here we find these five forces, right? Five forces of the field, the force of the field, the intentions, the force of the object, the force of the life basis, and so on. So this indicates that each force indicates its own virtue of having a influence on our practice. So for example, here the field of merit, the force of the field, where which is talking about the objects. For example, if you are making offering, then the object to whom we make the offering, that also kind of predetermines the force of the merit that we accumulate, right? So it is by the, for example, if that object is not an ordinary, if it is something like a fully enlightened being or a noble beings, and then regardless of of your intention, what's your motivations, and how you make offering, and other factors which will which normally makes your virtue very complete and very powerful, regardless of all other factors. But just because to whom you make that offering is a very a noble being, it's not an ordinary being. So by the virtue of that, then you are the virtue, your virtue or the merit that you accumulate become powerful. Loss.
제장아서 농바 몽보지니 다 도지되긴 치대도 와라는지 치대질 자침부터 솔쇼도 고와지가 열어서 자침부터 진짜 되네 땜바 대패 네 폐용이 진짜 기본 말해서와 또 놀라니 다 땜베 리셀라 수페 예와 인사다 네 대라테네 소지게와 또치문도 그래서네 네 아니 아다 자침부지는 패되고 그래서.
So perhaps in the we believe that taking pilgrimage to some like the holy place, such as a Buddhist, the pilgrimage to like the Buddha Gayas, where the Buddha achieved the enlightenment, and to Varanasi, where he turned the wheel of dharmas. So all these places are considered very very special, not only because that they you visit, not only pilgrims go to those places, but also they make a special effort to accumulate merit in those places. So not only because these places have something like places where the Buddha had been there in those places, but also because it's for example in Buddha Gaya there's a huge a stupa or the reliquaries big there, which which contained the relics, very sacred relics to the Buddhas, and so because of these sacred objects were in those like in those stupas. So therefore, we believe therefore that the engaging in any virtuous action, any practices in such place, then has a added benefit of accumulating merit.
Ani seche toche gishana zube suji kombu topa shawo nyambi an tni se kalmu sambi ko ne ti chewa ina ne ti gesa te jachimu ro yore ne toche chimbi topi ko ne jalan ro yore yes.
And then there's the force of intentions. So I'll just explain the field, the force of field. Now the intention, which is talking about the mental, like the motivations. What kind of motivation, with which we begin the practice, with we undertake the actions, is a very important factor to determine the size and the strength of the merit of the virtue that we create. So it is, as it is said here, that the with the motivations, to benefit, to be able to benefit all sentient beings, out of that motivations, such motivation, then even if what you give to others is, even if it's such as a very a small or like a handful of food to animals, then it says that, but you accrue a great merit, a very strong merit, and this this is because of by the virtues of the motivations and or the mental intentions behind that actions, which is really to benefit of, which is out of the love and compassion for all sentient beings. So once again, so this is all to why we go through this is to just to show that the with this form of life, when we have found such a life of leisure and endowments, and then we have the potential, we have the capacity to create a great virtue and merit. Even though we lack, if we are not rich, we can still accumulate a great virtues through this applying, such as this force of motivation or the mental intentions, that we can still make our practice of giving a very a source of great merit and virtues.
Ane sambangi pungone toche watere, no ngi pungone toche watere ngachi dre nigres karisen sita ane ta suje komu topala jimbe pachi zuga gres. Te insa ngala ngi pochita mende jimba toye mende se tni gu tinte sechu choge yomaris. Kainsa na ngachi jimba no ne jimbe chude chawate ane chichi jimba tere res rowa. Ane susi ngoshi pare karena tel chi chi da ane chigun ro tang da wata. Ane sa pensen ji kle no ne ta chi drone no mu chi do. Ane tzo kanga ane chi jimba chode go res rowa. Je changa ane susi gi jimba tele jo ane chi jimba tele te chi chejano tele ne ke mo sa to res.
And then there's the force of the object or force of the things to to be given. So this is to say, like this is to say that what we give, whatever the object or the things that we give as part of our practice of giving, so which again becomes a very important. What we give becomes a very important factor to for whether that how much merit we or the virtue that we accumulate. So it is said that of all the types of giving, the giving of dharma, dharma teachings, so is considered as the highest and the supreme, supreme one, and so therefore as we said, I said before, how in order to engage in such practice of givings, where to through which we can accumulate an enormous merit, very powerful merit, then we do not have to possess a great deal of material wealth, but in fact we got to understand that even all the dharma, the knowledge that we teach to others, we share with others, such as you sometimes we have a discussion sessions, so where we we discuss about dharma with others. So these are also the practice of giving, and then by the virtue of that, what is giving, which is dharma. So we have to recognize that our practice become an important source of accumulating merit.
Ani tenje gone to chewa de ngazo ten ta karsana ani ngazo ge ta karsen chimba inana ani chimbe dombala spodra ro ani gewa chena geza ja chimbo da ani tne jingwa ji domba da ani shon chu ji sembe domba da ani te rajo dombala supa ani ma ji to cher ro te chena ani geza te to chimo yores tenje gone. And
then there's another force called the force of life basis. So this is to our life, as a lay practitioners, as a lay persons. It is saying that if you have a vow, if you have taken a vow, and then that you are working like a life basis, then become a special factor to whatever virtues that you create, you accumulate. So because of this, the vow that which you possess in that in your life basis, so it makes your virtues and the merit greater. So likewise, it become greater if you have taken like a bodhisattva's vows or a tantric vows and so on. So this the making this life form of life of this working life basis, very like the powerful factor to accumulate virtue and merits.
Ta ni tiji gone to chewa singete, tiji gone to chewa singete, ta tembala shen ma yupi nekasa ta magechala supi tsanta suwa le, ani ta tembal ma nji yungdi sala, ani tsanta suwa tiga, ani penchi yo resrwa, ta temba peneta te lo ni dung tu jata jantu sabi kicharwa. Ta tinsa ta 다 든지가 다 대만지라 니위가 내가서 아니 선들라 소바스나 아니 디페체와 아니 드니 송고요레스.
And then the last one factor is fourth, or the factor is the time factors. So which explains that the whatever the virtues or merit that we accumulate, whether is great or not, is also has an influence by the time that in which we accumulate those the virtue and the merit. So it is said here that we will be creating whatever virtue like that we create, such as like the observing the ethical practice of refraining from 10 non-virtuous actions. So in the action in the time when the Dharma is degenerating, when there's a lot of damage occurring in the Buddha Dharmas, it is saying that it is in that such time when we observe such morality practice, then it's saying it is more practice accrue more merit and become more powerful than creating the same in a time when the Dharma exists, when the pure Dharma exists, during the time of like a flourishings, complete flourishings, or if you like, the golden, time of the flourishing of the Dharmas. So like during the time of the Buddhas and so on. So thinking of this, it also give us some sort of like inspirations that how is worth of doing, creating a virtues, virtue and creating a merit in this at the moment, which in fact is the time of we are passing through the time of degenerations, and so therefore, by the virtues of these time factors, then that whatever virtues we create, even if it's something small one, we have to understand it's worthwhile because it becomes very special, very greater and powerful because of this, the time factors.
Pena tichane ngaso pena wishana that pete kandis nogena mshimato chen tison moja dingno rashi kutul moja tsela tati yurosimara karis jako chunjutiga pembotiga nonji jako yapoye igne kasa ki jako suisho shegi shidena shira kerondo ayo marwa ta tison la ki suisho shegi tsela la tsapi jako nji khala motela suisho shegi sidela pi Tipal Kedon, which do most on to Himbujinua. Oh, Tinder wonder where inside the song this. That's Suji Tembatinjila near Negasa, sooner pay chasing over. Oh, Tinder wonder Chichena, Pedimachine.
So, like, how in this, unfortunate, event that is, unfolding in the Ukraine. So where the Russians invading and causing a lot of damage and sufferings to the people there. So in that period when this Ukraine is going through the lowest moment of their histories, then how anyone who put in effort. Become something very admirable, like the Ukraine's president now, who is working hard, and because of the time that what he's doing in this context of this of his the historical time of his country, then that a whole watching, and he every little thing, everything that he's doing, saying and doing is become a very important factors. So perhaps this is likewise. So it's in a time factors when in a time when the Dharma is degenerating, and when there's a lot of the obstacles to the practice of dharmas, and so in such time then the even whatever a small amount of practice that we do, then it becomes by the virtues of that time factors then we accrue that small practice will accrue a great amount of merit.
Dona ta nga so ta je tanjo ne joje tu de me ten da la ni ani ni di ge chi tu chi la ani su ji de be ni tri ge chi chi nga tu deng ge yo res ro de za ne ta so nie ka yu ge ten chi chi ten ji ge ta jo chi nie de ta de la ni de me chi si so mo to nyam be ge ni lo ti shu xie de na ya bo yo res ro ni mu lo wa xia go nyam 대다 시행이 봤더니 라마라이 신지로 소스네더니 라마도랄 소아다 아니 드니가 라르고다 드니 사레스로
So it is mentioned here that with this life of human life of leisure and endowments, so in fact we have potentials to even to achieve the complete enlightenment in these single lifetimes. So the is a single lifetime. So therefore we have to think of how fortunate one one is to have found such a precious life of human, life of human of leisure and endowments, and then to also as we meditate on these topics, on this subject of the precious human rebirth, then where we recognize the 18 qualities which makes this human life very precious, and then also to knowing in what way this life is such precious life, human life, become a very meaningful. What is the value? Knowing, identifying the value of this the meaning of this precious human rebirth, and then to trying to think in the meditation, trying to generate and reinforce oneself this thought of that I won't waste this human life, and this the potential, the value of this human life, and then to in the meditations, if you have visualized the gurus and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then trying to offer a prayer or pray to them that may they bestow ones the blessings, the inspirations to be able to make this life, to be able to make this life meaningful, and also be may they, through these blessings, may you be to eliminate, to be able to eliminate all the obstacles to fulfilling this the meaning of the precious human rebirth. So we will leave the tonight's teaching here, but if anyone has a question, otherwise we'll finish. Yes, Jenny? Yes.
I just wanted to clarify, meditating on the Buddha, I think from one of the teachings, Geshe said, you have a large Buddha here, and then from the large Buddha comes a small Buddha,
Yeah.
and he comes to the front. I
Yeah.
presume he's on the throne in a lotus, and
Yeah.
presume he's on that. So I'm just fishing for clarification. And is it sort of
So you want to know the Buddha, the replica of the Buddha, the which comes in front of you, whether he's sitting on a throne or on a lotus. What is? Sorry.
yes, and then when you finish the meditation, you then bring the Buddha back into the larger Buddha, and then you decide.
가서데 동안 검색해라. 아 동안 소랑게 사람아마. 디 지기 디 군다다고 뉴나 삼. 지 소속이 지오가나 제 뉴나 삼여저와. 다 티다고 되네 가라 쇼여스 다지 여러가 좀 면도 빼마당 라드네. 쇼란디 검자 사회지라 디 가와팀 그랬어. 이게 소소 지오가나 남아들 팀 그래서 수불 팀 그래서 그래서.
다데 천다워지나 시라시라서는 또 그지 말이 못듯이 아니 손바테 클레 tomboa inana 아니 셀로로 했더니 크로스는 또 문제가 저다워지라 손은 뭐 또나
면도 빼마든 삼 먹으시는 쇼데 데
템바코로 니 소선도 거지 템바 롱을 강그마 또 근다 있어서나 맞지 거지 아니 타마텔라 아니 데데인데 쇼 그때 발때는 판타 아니 타마텔은 쇼 그때 발때 소설 많다네 니 실라 슈슈는 비 아니 드림이 봐서
면도 빼마다 되는 삼 먹으시라
삼 먹지 소타나도 해 보여라 이나때 지지 걸 콤바 맹해지는 셈바 인데 그러었어
그래 다디 데 지옥이 템발라 팀 안지오 템바다랑
전 마테는 니 실라 차서 슈수 그냥
as far as the details of that, when you visualize the Buddha in front of you, what detail that is really dependent on the individuals. But usually for most, as a beginner, it's very hard to get the details, aspects of your visualized image. Right, so if you can, of course, have the picture of the cushions, what the cushion sitting, and what is the type of throne, and then there could be so many other the colors and aspects. You can. Otherwise, it just need to without worrying about that. Simply just think of the replica of the Buddha in front of you. It's as if that the actual Buddhas, not. As the small one, and the actual Buddha, and then you can finish by dissolving that into the Buddha upon your crown, and then which too, as you receive the blessing, it dissolves into yourself. So in that way, you receive the full, the blessings of the Buddha.
So would you just, is it best just to concentrate on that one Buddha and not visualize a whole lot of other Buddhas?
Yeah, and not also worrying about the clarity of the and the detail of the image. Just whatever you get, some just vague image that whatever that you get, you consider that as the representing the actual Buddha. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Any other question? Yeah.
Regarding merit, so it's my understanding that if you create a virtuous deed, it's good to dedicate that merit immediately. And I'm just wondering if, because I'm not very mindful, then I might forget, so I might try and do it at night time and with finish the merit, or you know what I'm saying? Like, a week later,
whether you have a merit to dedicate or not. Mada namjuyong sa ji ngowak che jola su nyamin che tane. Samsara ngowak che je ju do sa. An je ne an jema do chi ge sa. 가상 이거 야구 제 ngowak che je sha.
Digo ina tiparate control usuna chon dorta.
Yeah. You ideally you dedicate as soon as that you the accumulation of the merit, because if you leave the time and then before you think of the dedicating the merit that you created the other day, in between that, if you fall under the influence of some angry mind, anger. So you never know, you might lose it, it might destroy it.
So if you fall under the influence of all those other attachments, you also lose that merit is working?
Sorry?
You're sort of saying anger, which you get off with.
Can destroy, yeah.
If you just fall under your worldly attachments,
Yeah.
doing stuff,
Yeah.
you also weaken that merit if it's not there.
You mean that also, does the attachment also destroy the merit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
worldly activities.
착박에 내 니몽도서 매버서 오르해서 당한 공적은 좀 세져라. 그나 신게 니몽 견다게.
첩백은 좀 생겼다. 얘도 예지성도 되네. 유인인데 요리스는 이 세워진 건 통마소스.
라.
컨트롤티긴 정글에서는 이 통송스러워. 첩백은 정글에서는 이 쓰는데 이게 통마소스.
Well, we find in many scriptures that how in terms of the losing the merit, the anger was quite mentioned in many texts, that it is a very cause to destroying the merit, but you don't find anything about it, like attachment or other as a force to destroying one's merit. It may be, they can also diminish one's merit.
So if you're not dedicated like the Ukrainian president,
Yeah.
who's doing, as you say, very virtuous, trying his best to save but he's not dedicating that towards Woodcourt. So is that merit, and he's not probably not dedicating that merit, I don't know him.
Yeah.
But if he's not dedicating that merit, is that merit sort of going to be lost next time he sees Buddhism? He's got a huge amount of merit, but he's not dedicating.
그래서 뭐 제대로 비시하고 도만 번서 비게자 초마니 녀도 호저는 디그로 봤어. 게자 가르소.
라.
게자 가르소야나. 제난다 마제난다로와. 모두 잘라네 토마 메빠는 시와 가세 비 노소 비가 게자데 뭐 녀도 호저는 디그요.
그래 보기 전에 만나서 신신조아. 거기다 다지 내가 야부체데 배 야부를 놔줘라. 이 오늘 개발에 왜서 그래서래. 거치게서. 그 뭐와도 지금이만 뭐와 지금이라서 나도 근데 계시대.
다 드리도 찌트 개와 이미 그런 거 생발 딱 그러. 그런 거 빈곤 아해나지고 안주나지 지고 제대에는 개와 말어 봐. 이내 som바 토픽은 거네 몸을 쓰는 또 제게는 개와로 봐.
Yeah. Just back to the dedicating marriage. It's always good to, when we dedicate marriage, you don't just think of not only the merit that you have just accumulated, you can think of even the merit that you have accumulated since beginningless time. So all the merit, and so in that way, all the merits are accumulated. Yeah, and the Ukrainian president, all the good work that he is doing, whether it's dharma or not, it's really up to his motivations. Honestly, if his motivation is purely for his, country people, his compassion, concern, then of course it is something very virtuous, from spiritual point. But if it's something, some political thing, then maybe not necessary. Yeah. His own position, his own name, all that. Like become a the world figure, like gain popularities, But that's you're talking about in spiritual terms here. Yeah. Okay. That is. Yeah.
What's the difference between merit and good karma?
Yeah. 당당한 this 소남 소세죠로아. 대야 당한도 지금 레상고 세죠로아. 딜 개박하려 그랬어.
레 좀보세 세노지 수생이데 지라 치쳐와에. 레 좀보 생이텔라 다 예시지 수지 레그러와. 예시지 수 세노지 수. 세노지 수는 당고제 짐바 동화다 드리가서 세노지 수생. 짐바 동화다. 근데 제가 막 드린 레그라. 다 돈이 공발라 수비 레그는 레 좀보 소 그랬대. 레 좀보 때 세노지 수래 돼.
그거 레스를 공감 중앙도 좋아.
레시.
디 레가나스 레스 좋아. 그 디키.
예시지 수소 그러다. 돈이 돈이 공면서는 다 예시지 수 자체로 아니 시와지만이 돈이 또 비기 셔라라 수바 공변으로 레서 그러와. 레라니 드니 세노지레도 예시지레 니어레스라 세노지 수도 세노지 수 거라지나 다지 바동아도 드니 세발라더니 아니 드니 용으로 왔다. 지바지바지바 다게 시도 마 유는 마지디 살라네 세주 셈바도 드니 전에 친 로가차노 그러와.
I think generally they both are very similar, because when we talk about like accumulating merit, and then we're talking about the engaging the actions such as giving and the generosities, or practicing moral ethics. All these are the action of merit, accumulating merit, and as well as they're creating, good karma as well when we engage in those actions, right? But then in the scriptures, then when we go into the more specific about the karma, and then there's a lot to study, because the karma is referring to the identified with a mental factor, some sort of within us. So there's a lot of some fine difference we can find, but generally we can say same. Yeah, same generally. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Dedication.